So this is a quick update, right? Today when I was asleep, in the morning, I slightly woke up and then I had they purposely gave me like a whiplash or whatever. And what they do is they shock you purposely, and I don't know what it is, but I also felt like a sensation that my sugar levels were low, but I'm healthy, right? So you see how they can manipulate a person to go to the hospital for no reason, right? And then there's some patients that they don't leave when there's nothing wrong with them. The doctor already said and evaluated them, and they don't leave, and they're not content unless there's some type of surgery or work or medicine prescribed to them. We've seen this stuff too, and that's why we prescribe, placebo, right? Or different medications to take care of that patient, whether it be diuretics or any of that, but I know that they're using this radio equipment. I don't know what's going on, but it's so pointless, and they're the reason why the shocking on my head, shocking on the body, making words on the television, a split second you'll notice it like say something else and then say go back to the original, so they can literally make physicians and doctors forgetful on administering medications, and they speak in low frequencies. They can blend in with your surrounding areas, and it can make it look very realable, like very like convincing that it's that person in front of you that's talking that shit, that's really behind that unnecessary stuff, but it's not. Just like when I'm talking, I'm ignoring it, but they fluctuate my vocal cords because they're using that constant current um of of really like suppressing my my vocals and making me sound like somebody I'm not or whatever, but then they I try to brush it off, and then now you see my real like vocal cords, right? But then like I don't know, they try to blend in behind even movies. They try to blend in with radio. I'm just need to be very honest, because there's people that are unaware of these things, and like they're over here like dying for no reason, dude. No reason. And they think like conflict is abrupting when there's no conflict to start with. Literally. And it messes with our great relations. It's just it's a health risk. And dude, my grandma, my grandpa, my father, they would have still been alive, but they killed them, dude. Supposedly water in the lungs. And if I ask a physician, they can suck the water out of the lungs, and we have, you know, um, medications to heal the patients. Even if it was something with diabetes, dude, they would have still been living to this day, man. Like I'm great with God, so I'm not even like holding grief, or I'm not like, I let God handle it, but I'm just literally explaining myself and letting everybody know like it is a healthcare risk. Not only did they try to poison me with like natural, like they get to know your schedule in secret, and then they blend in with your daily activities, and then they'll point it out. Oh, it's the dust. Oh, it's the drink and beverage that you had. Oh, it's the food that you ate. Dude, they blend in like that. And like before my father died, they were hiding behind radio, or I don't know if it was that radio person at JC Penney saying that, oh, long live the king's gonna die, and then comes another one. And like just because we're Romans from the Bible, they think about, dude, they have some people have their values really fucked up, And that's why we're letting you know that you don't need anything from anyone. It's all laid out in the foundation from all of our families, you know? Like, so nobody can be out here with the wrong motives, and now you can have more genuine relationships. You don't have to just be around people for your own personal gain. All right. Now you know how to increase wages. That's going to cover all medical expenses, all, you know, healthcare needs, and make sure you're healthy under a great big mansion and all of your surroundings cared for with a brand new car, construction, building, wages increased by every employee paycheck. You give $10, $20, and every 3 months guaranteed increase wages, you know? Because people are really getting sick because they're getting careless. And a lot of times people like buy out businesses, you go out of business because then you don't follow up with the trends that well. Well, the money's going to keep on coming, especially for law officials and, you know, food industries and stuff, right? Great. Now you know how to increase wages for your employees so they won't be sick while they're handling our food. They won't be sick in front of our family and kids, in front of your kids and families, right? So you make sure you listen, right? Because we work with CDC, law enforcement. We're all together in this. This is why I'm letting you know not to freak out. If whatever's happening to you is happening, whatever is happening to me is happening to you, I just want you to know that not to worry, because just brush it off, dude. If somebody knows, if they think they were so comfortable in trying to mess with people's heads and using that radioactivity and light projection or whatever, um, somebody knows what's going on. And what about our kids? We're just gonna be, you know, on our flights, you know, all happy and excited, and then it crashes because they did that popping sound, like how they flipped over my car with that popping sound. And then they're like shocking our heads, and I'm fucking shaking like when I'm asleep for no reason. Like, this bullshit, dude. Literally, it's bullshit. And our kids and families deserve a great life. Everyone deserves a great life. Nobody bothers anybody. This is obviously coming from a fucking crime junkie that adapted to their own paranoia. That is poor leadership, right? Because obviously we make movies in healthy ways. We lead by example. There's healthy ways to eliminate conflict, and that's through education and great relations. Everything else is short-lived. If you think you're bad and tough, and then like you do harm to what's in front of you, they're gonna do harm to you, and they're gonna get down to the bottom of that. You see how they try to you know, like get in the way of my vocals and stuff. They act so stupid. And literally, like, all of our fucking, like, it was all of the funds and everything, like, is all from everybody's families around the world, in great relations and spreading the good word, acts of kindness, healthcare, making sure everybody's cared for, so you don't you know, won't get belittled by somebody with $1 when they needed the food for thought. We didn't. We just literally like make sure like we're good in the foundation and everybody can be equally blessed, because your health matters. If you're healthy, I'm healthy. If you're sick, I'm sick. It doesn't matter, like, anywhere in the world, you know? So really, like, whoever you are, like, just leave, dude, because they're really gonna catch you, man. And I know it's not even a handful, dude. And they're using military equipment or government equipment, dude. And then they're confusing all of the professionals and people with good standings and stuff. Like, it's a very healthcare risk, dude. Like, literally. Like, just leave, man. It's short-lived. You're way too focused on people's lives, and you rob yourself from your own life. Like, you just took your own life away. Like, please leave, dude. And it's not even please. Like, damn, dude. Like, I think God's gonna really, really kill you, dude. Whoever it is. Like, God doesn't even like you. Like, at this point, like, you're useless to life and you don't deserve to live another day. girl, guy. I've been hearing girls' voices, guys' voices. And then I bet, like, so what it is like, I think it's a government official trying to hide their face by using an open mic on the population, and then, like, shocking that person, shocking me, and then they say, oh, like, get away, asshole, or whatever, and then, like, somebody else says, um, fuck off, because they think it's them, and then, just like that, you just forgot that they were trying to hide their face, you know? So literally, like, just, like, the best thing to do when, like, like, God is very real is just brush it off, and every turn is God, for sure. Don't let a select handful, like, burn you down with them, okay? Don't. It's short-lived. We know, we could have fallen victim to all of these things, but we stay still. We stay firm, we stay firm, and we make sure that everybody's taken care of, because there's not going to be anything to enjoy when somebody's sick. That's why we take everybody serious. You see how when I was talking, they said, like STEM or something, and I wasn't even going to say that. I was going to say that's why we stand firm. So, yeah, and I got popped right here, like, for no reason. Anyways, they're stupid. Whoever did that to the life and people. Well, anyways, after I expressed myself, when I noticed this was happening for no reason, and then the pandemic happened because people got careless and lacked, like, education and knowledge. We're seeing great results, everybody happier and getting along, building, new construction homes for everybody. I mean, we desperately need real life, so I don't understand why somebody who did this would think, like, they were gonna benefit for, like, whatever reason. It's stupid, man, for real. Just be a good person, no matter what you see. Just be a good person. They're literally just, like, they use sound, and vibrations and, like, constant currents to, like, put pressure on you. And God said they can leave. The same God that told me the pandemic was going to happen in 2016, and it actually happened in 2020. They could leave. And they're making people sound like they can't leave, like it's permanent. But they could leave. God told me this. God hasn't failed me once. They try to make you believe that you're going to die, but you just stay with God and God takes it all away. You just give it all to God. That's all you got to do. Even if you see nothing but shit in front of you, just make sure you're kind. It's always worth it, being there for God, making sure God is healthy every turn. God, every turn. We're going to make this a great world, and whoever's guilty, they're not going to want to leave, but we know damn well that it's going to hurt them when they leave such a great life that we're going to build. Everyone in mansions, everywhere in the world, every road brand new. everyone more beautifuler and healthier. Anybody talking positive or negative, anything, I don't care what it is, you ignore that shit. And you stay with God. God every turn. Brush all that shit off. God every single turn. Alright? They're gonna burn in hell. I haven't been more sure. I mean, God said it first. The people were never the problem. They just had poor leaders, but not this time around. Now we're all involved for healthcare reasons. We saw all that toxic stuff together in the world. We saw it all together. And that's why we don't speak on our affairs, because they waste too much people's time. And then they're over here toxifying, pitching a different narrative to a group of officials. And then they just go out just fixed on whatever that came across without no open mind to like think anything else. There's people that got wrongfully accused and their life taken away, dude. And it wasn't even them. And a killer would just say anything and everything just to literally get away with a murder. And then off goes somebody that they feared or threatened, their families and all of that. This is why when things happen to us and they don't take us serious and then they're over here judging us for no reason, this is why we give examples through media, you know, to protect us and our families. This is very ancient and very important to know how great like today got, because it's very, very important that everybody lives a great, happy life unbothered, because that's God's promise. They even tried burning my face, dude, but it healed because God healed me. I don't know, they just like literally like, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. We can't explain it. A lot of like physicians and professionals don't even understand what's happening. They don't know, dude. Sometimes a lot of people are just going on with their living their life. And they leech on to like, you know, like all of our imagination and like, dude, I'm having like forced dreams. It's just like the phone, the black screen they're using this is like a phone. They're shit, dude, to be honest. And I'm not gonna have our troops and law officials guided the wrong way. We're all gonna be building. We're all gonna teach detainees to build. We already know that it's a great success every time we show them a better way. That's why all the crimes are committed. Why? Because they want a great life. That's why they do it for. Or else they wouldn't have touched that shit. They wouldn't. You know? So, everyone's gonna be building. Even with firefighters, less fires, less crime. And you're not gonna deny it. Then if you become skeptical, then that means you want to see crime. That means you don't want to clean up the streets. That means you're false. And firefighters are gonna build because they get to know the wiring. They get to know how to like the default in wiring and electrical, right? And they can get themselves a house too. But we're gonna literally build for, you know, the people and the detainees first. And how are they going to keep on building? They're gonna go ahead and how are they, you see how they fucking try to derail my focus? Anyways, you know, how are they gonna keep on living in that big house? detainees, people, yourself, you're going to keep building for the next countries and next countries. We have international great relations. That's how we all came out to be: military, border patrol, law enforcement, FBI, all of us. We have great relations and we love our relationships. And we are not going to lose our great relationships, because if something happens to our water supply, our foods, that's why we communicate healthy, so we can keep on living happy and healthy. Dude, literally, if you're in the ground, not over not on your computer and not on your microphones and stuff, just entertaining shit in your head. Dude, in real life, everybody is getting along. Dude, this is God's world, dude. Like, God is there for you. God will be there for you, dude. You know? So anywhere in the world, you'll be great. Like, everything's understood, you know? God. Let's make sure we build everybody a big house, have their surroundings great. That's the only definition of all of our government agencies everywhere in the world, every army, just to make sure everybody has the health care that they need and cared for, fed properly, educated the right way, manpower and helping hands. That is it. That is it. Somewhere it got toxic, so we made sure to lead by example and show them, look how short-lived it is. You're not going to be going outside and having your body ripped apart over one or two disputes of one or two people that think they own the world, and it's just one or two people or one team and another team. What the fuck? Dude, like, that's why it's important for everybody in the world to lead by example. Literally. You just take care of everybody. I don't care what you hear. I'm going to take care of you. Let's make sure you're healthy, because I know when you're healthy, I'm healthy. Okay? Life is very, very simple. Don't complicate it for yourself. This is why I don't go directly to whoever wrongfully put me in jail for no reason. I didn't even show them my ID, dude, and they already knew like who I was. They knew my name. I didn't even have an ID to show them. So are they the reason behind stalking me? Are they the reason? Are they creating conflict just to give them a reason to be this close and invade my privacy and other people's privacy? Because I'm hearing girls that are in low frequencies and guys that are in low frequencies saying, I don't want this. Like, dude, get out of my head. Or like, I can't breathe. Like, like, people are literally getting sick for no reason. So you are going to increase the wages, just like we said. The same people that saved your life when the pandemic happened. Do you want to die? So don't deny us when we're literally like having a great no risk involved, making sure you're going to be healthier and successful and a happy life. We're going to deal with that. They're already going to deal with that, all right? So don't listen to that. Just ignore it. Whatever you're going through, just ignore it. And you, God wants to see you now. Not adapting to shit. God wants to see you now. Look at all the shit that they're doing to me for no reason, dude. I literally flipped my car over and I could have died, dude. You know? And then, like, they're literally, like, brainwashing these kids to act on impulse. Just like I said, what they did to the animals. They can literally have animals, like, forced to that target. And then, like, I don't know, like, what's going on, but it's shit. It's just obviously what somebody was adapting to their own paranoia and shit. How about adapting to a great life? Because if you're just talking shit, you're just going to be like too focused on having shit in your head everywhere. And look at how ugly and unprofessional you'll look. all diseased and shit. When you keep talking about all the healthy ways and benefits and the right knowledge and a better life, that's all people are going to see, man. That's all everybody wants. They just want a great life. So now there's no excuses. Now we're going to give everybody a house, some food. We're going to leave it all in the foundation. Everyone equally employed and equally knowledgeable. Because those weapons and guns, they're nobody's fear. Now we're all equipped. Everywhere in the world, we're all equipped. There's more dangerous things than that. There's poisonous gases. There's bombs that they can like literally create with everybody's cell phone. So do you understand how impactful the good word was? Do you understand when I say that we release the funds from the equity of the Bible with all of our families around the world? Do you understand like the altitude of unlimited, how it gets? But how many funds are we going to be releasing? And then it's like wrongfully distributed. And now we have only a section, you know, and then they still feel the repercussions because it's a bigger world. I'm not going to be out here like impressing a person that denies me off of jealousy or their misunderstanding when there's a whole world to keep healthy. There's people to teach the right way. When all that conflict did not build the biggest cities, the beautifulest, biggest towers, it was the good word, right? When you were being treated like shit for no reason, you knew where to go with God. You knew where to go to be taken serious, right? No more like them trying to like date us, like just to take our wills and kill us after, or no, like, do you really care about these people, or is it your personal gain, or like what? Because people can't see nothing else. I mean, look at all of these celebrities on stage. I mean, it was because of the good word. And the structure, they still have to be building. They still have to care for our consumption. They still have to spread the good word to all. Like, it's literally, that's all it is. And education through horror movies, through education on what people go through, what we're all capable of if we see bullies. So we make sure we educate everybody all together. It's just examples. You don't have to always like be fixed on this one narrative and then you just end up looking stupid. These are things that protected our lives. These are things that keep our days being great. You see, law officials, fire department, military, all also spreading the good word on TV. They give real life scenarios, real life victim stories. It's no secret. Some people thought, oh, I'm going to be a star and like think they're just going to like be bumming everywhere. No, you have to spread the good word or it stops. Dude, literally, like you don't need anything from anyone. You have great relations together. You can build great solid foundation that where nobody can take it away from you. If you get fired, when that's not going to happen anymore, nobody gets fired. They're not going to be fired and take all their toxic ways somewhere else and then you still suffer the repercussions. No, you're going to keep them if you notice something toxic and you're going to teach them the right way. At least now you have them right in front of you. Because we can't have somebody just out here, Dude, they were literally killing like people in charge, really great people, And they weren't even the problem, just because they wanted the position and they thought they knew like what to do, like, you know, like all in secret and shit. Anyways, um you know how to increase wages. The money is going to keep on coming. You just keep on, you know, spreading the good word, staying up with the trends, you know, so keep it positive. I'm just letting you know what's being aware so you won't fall victim and look stupid and think what's in front of you is like has something to do with that shit, you know, because they're trying to confuse everybody. So just like be a kind person to everybody around the world. It's God every turn. All right. Somebody knows who it is, and they're going to be dealt with, all right? Don't worry about that. God told me they can leave. Anyways, yeah, so you already know how to increase wages. Every paycheck, $10, $20. I know I don't have a problem with it. Dude, $10, $20, I buy like some fast food here and there, and dude, we all know that we buy fast food in excess. So look, $10, $20 every pay period. Even you're gonna still get your bills paid, but then more, dude. You know, you'll never lack anything in your life again. So literally listen, every business everywhere in the world, the money is gonna keep coming, whether it be through us taxpayers, whether it be through roundup purchases or grocery taxes or taxes or you know even our income tax. It's very important that you know you stay healthy. That's never gonna end. And you increase your wages every pay period, $10 $20. Every employee $10 $20, even the manager. And every 3 months, guaranteed raise. Guaranteed raise. I don't care how much of a dollar or check that you make, it's gonna be implemented. I don't care. And you'll notice how that money is gonna become nothing without that foundation, without the rules, without the importance of knowing that what's in front of you needs to be taken care of in order for you to be taken care of. Respect and privacy goes a long way and is very understood when we have the same lives. You go through these obstacles that you understand, oh, you know what, we shouldn't do that. And then you understand what's best for all of us and yourself too. Because you're going to literally pray and be thankful that somebody was this firm when you're literally gasping on your last breath or you get sick because seasons are going to be coming around, right? And you're going to be thankful that somebody this firm, like everybody else that's literally on it ASAP, you know, with CDC, everybody, you're going to be very thankful that we were this firm in making sure that you have with God's life, God's extreme long life, right? We're looking for great results here. Not somebody in secret trying to like have power over us. Do they even know? Sometimes they're like third party sellers, resellers of medication. They don't even know, like, you know. So that's why it goes to show that it's very important what you dish out. It can't be toxic. It has to complement the body and our proteins, you know. And all of this information has to be passed down. All of our benefits that are there for us that we work for rightfully cannot be denied. The people that made it very convenient for us, they're going to pass and they're going to get older and it's going to be up to us. It can't be toxic. It cannot be toxic. Because then everybody's confused. Then you go home and then you have to literally like sleep with one eye open. This is why the good word is very important. Because when you get dropped off by an acquaintance and your friend's friend, or your partner's friend or friends and family members, and then, you know, like they'll go and they'll respect you because they also want to be respected the same way. So it's just education. Education eliminates all conflict. You're never going to see war again. No, you're not. This is God's world. I'm not sorry to say that whoever literally like went to war, like it's fucking embarrassing. They couldn't even handle life. You can't handle life, what's in front of you? Why are you gonna act on impulse? We're very kind. Everybody is trained. Why do you think we train them and train each other? And you know, when they're going through training, the world is going through training. The same training at the same time. That's why we YouTube all of our trainings, so we inform everybody equally. That training was to implement sharpness. All right? Sharpness, cleanliness, selflessness, to where when you know the right thing to do on healthcare, making sure everything in front of you is cared for and they get the healthcare they need in privacy and left alone that they need, no conflict, and make sure they are good everywhere in the world. That's why we have the foundations that we've built. Or there's no life to live. You know, there's literally like, I saw on my news report, there's poisonous substances that are tasteless. They can put that on your food. If you make it toxic, what goes to show that they're not going to be fucking toxic with you, and then some innocent person that you're making somebody believe that they're toxic and doing this shit. You can be all prideful in back of a fucking computer with your mic and shit. Are you really on the ground, huh? It's a different story when you have fucking bullets right in front of you, dude. It's a different story. And now you're outnumbered. You'll always be outnumbered. Entertaining that shit, you will always be outnumbered. It's a lose-lose. You can say you win for your country or your team, but that's bullshit. It's a lose-lose. You got scared, shit got real, and then you had to literally like meet common ground. Or you were just guys gonna just die and become a health risk to everybody else that had no business doing that. People thought they were this and that, over $1 million or $1 trillion. Dude, there's people to pay. There's people to keep healthy. There's people to educate. That doesn't impress nobody. And how did it come from? Building, making sure everybody's cared for and healthy. Making sure they have a great roof over their head. Making sure our foods are being cared for, our healing plants. Look at how they judged marijuana, and it's great healing. It's a great healing plant. I've never experienced anything bad about it, but they were judging it. You know, morphine, it helped literally severe painly, you know, people that, you know, got hurt. Cane. These are properties in medications. They're going to legalize marijuana everywhere in the world. It's going to be cared for because there's obviously kids wanting to enjoy their life too. And it became something so great. And we don't want nobody like with jealousy motives poisoning our kids and our families. And adults, you know, after your workplace or whatever, you know. But you take your day-to-day jobs very serious. It's just something to have there, like your green tea. Before bed or something every once in a while, like your green tea. With all your healthy foods, enjoying laughter and your food's healthy. All right? And it also creates more job opportunities for law enforcement to be those labor workers with the detainees and the people too. Nobody's going to be getting all sneaky anymore. There's not going to be wrongful arrest. When you fell short for people's judgment, we stayed on the ground, making sure we got great results from people. If somebody was tampering with our medications, our plants, our foods, we made sure to let people know. Nothing passes government officials. Nothing. It's not even about money anymore. The people are pissed. You're going to leave people alone, whoever you are. I don't know who it is. But somebody does. Because somebody was speaking in low frequency, trying to mock that they killed my family. And still we're not afraid. Because we walk with God. You shouldn't walk with fear, especially when God literally created everything in the world. If God created that shit, God can take that shit out. We don't want somebody with the wrong motives and not educated and just brought on stage or just be out here just like, you know, I don't know if it was like a sex thing or whatever they did. People have their own fucked up fucking values all fucked up, dude. And they're over here fucking like spreading diseases and shit. Anyways, God bless. We're gonna make sure that God takes care of you. Nobody else but God. We're gonna prepare you to go to heaven because hell is real. You had poor leaderships. Don't be too hard on yourself. Forgive as God forgives us. Be kind to everybody. And when you feel that disturbance in you, know that that's your knowledge, wisdom, and direction. Don't act like a bitch. Because if you're the problem, the whole world's going to get you. Your knowledge, wisdom, and direction. That's all it is. You're just seeing God give whatever's in front of you their privacy in life. That's not your life. You want your privacy in life too, right? That's why you feel that. You need to understand that it solves a bunch of problems. When you understand and you know what you're feeling, your knowledge, wisdom, and direction. When you stand in front of a river or an ocean, you see people drown, you see sharks eating people, you see ships sinking, you see all this shit. And you see also, surfing, you see, within seconds. That's God talking very directly, dude. So now you know, right? Nobody's smarter than anybody. We're all literally, God like blessed us all at the same time. Everybody's just literally like in their own specialties. So don't belittle anybody. If they're not as educated, they walk in the room and you educate them equally. That's why we videotape all formulas and tasks, because they can be simplified through motion picture and through motion. Even, at first it can become very, frequent. And then as time goes by, then they understand that formula. You're going to build mansions. Don't waste time. For the detainees, for yourself, but it's going to be for the detainees first. They're going to want to keep on living in that big house. They're going to keep building with us for the rest of the people. And you're going to build for every single thing in front of you. Mansions. It can be started off on a default 0.75, 1 acre, and then we still have, our great relations to embark on when everybody in the world is taken care of. then we we can work something out with, like, I don't know, but we can adapt to a great life instead of adapting to shit. I mean, that's the only way you're going to keep on living, if what's in front of you is great. It gives life. Because literally, if you're not caring for your surroundings and you're the only one thinking about yourself in the most toxicest way, they're not going to leave you, dude. They want a life too. So they're going to go out to what is successful and is good standing so they can know, how did you get that? Why do you think YouTube is very impactful? Why do you think we show everybody how to have a great life? Because it gives life and privacy too. We already literally solved every problem in the world. And it's very simple, you see? You don't have to complicate it. So we don't want anybody getting sick. It's going to become very rare. And then what are the doctors going to do? They're going to build with us. They're going to research different part of the bodies, all the accumulated knowledge that we've acquired till this point. And we're going to make sure, hey, how could we, make it better? How could we get to know the anatomy better? And then spread the good word and educate. There's tons of education to remain constant in. There's new life being built and coming in. Because if everybody's literally a doctor and then everybody's getting sick because they don't understand how to increase the wages, that's why the tariffs were made, to increase demand on increasing wages. Right? We have tons of great, healthy ways to implement that firmness without conflict. The nicest ways to go about it. Now people are over here not affording their day-to-day food or soaps. Prices on cars are going up. Taxes going up. So what now? We know everybody in the world needs to follow mandatory healthcare guidelines, which is first step, increasing wages, mandatory. And we've seen great success already. These are our healthcare operations with all of our families. It doesn't matter what you represent. Keep it healthcare and understand how to even stay alive. God bless.